Do you guys like Nickelback at all? Like just as a
fuck that, dude.
You don't like Nickelback,
fuck
bro?
That, dude.
No.
That's
the worst position to be on the football team.
Let me tell you something. Growing up, that's all my mom listened to. Nickelback, the Dave Matthews Band, all that stupid shit. It literally gave me headaches.
Puddle of mud.
I think so.
Dust rock. Can we call it that?
Steely Dan.
Steely Dan's fine.
I don't know, but it literally would give me headaches as a child. When getting home from school or whatever, she'd fucking crank that up and blast it, sing along, and let me tell you something, fucking drove me insane.
Nuts. Huh?
So to me, it felt like torture. To me.
That's fair.
It's not really torture to me, considering, it's not great. But this week's episode, thank you all for joining us back here, whenever you are, wherever you are.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
That's right, kids. Because we're going to talk about some of history's, nice, if we don't destroy the set, some of history's worst executions and torture methods, whether it is to put someone to death, extract information, or just for plain fun, as some of these seem to sound.
A nice uplifting episode for
Yeah.
this installment.
Hey, shit ain't so bad, right?
Right.
It's not so bad.
Yeah.
So, who would like to begin?
Dibs?
Okay.
You guys, I know this sounds like a fun Saturday night. You guys ever heard of upright jerkers? Will?
No.
No?
No.
Never done an upright jerk?
An upright jerk? Yeah, standing?
No. Standing like upside down? No.
Yeah.
It's basically hanging, but they put the thingy around you. Instead of
the noose?
The thingy, yeah, the noose.
Oh, okay.
I
didn't know what the thingy was.
Could be anything, honestly. And then
Glow stick necklace.
Instead of dropping you, you're at a rave. Put them to death. Instead of dropping you, they put a fucking huge weight on the back, and they drop that.
Oh!
You get yanked upwards.
Oh, yeah.
And it fucking snaps your neck. Although a lot of times it didn't work, and it would yank here. So they would have to keep dropping the weight 5-6 times before the person was dead.
Not good enough. Go ahead, take it back up. Yeah, take it back up.
Damn.
Clear.
Yeah.
Still didn't get it.
Yeah, remember back in the Salem witch trials? Where,
Yeah, I remember that.
They would not physically, but the stories.
He's a witch.
The stories about it. They would cement you and your feet into buckets and then just dump you in the.
Oh right, if you float.
It's like a mobster
If you
type
float,
of thing.
you're a witch. But
And
if you
sink,
die,
yeah.
well, you weren't a witch.
You're sleeping with the fucking
It's like
fish.
Monty Python and the Holy Grail,
Right.
This is a witch! A witch! She turned me into a newt! And everyone looks at him and it's just like,
It's a crazy.
oh, better.
It's a crazy concept. If you die, well, we fucked up. You weren't a witch, but
Well, it's
whatever.
the same with burning at the stake. It's if you die, if it's ticklish, you're fine.
Right.
But if not, you're not a witch.
Going through some of these torture,
What'd you find?
some of these names are pretty hilarious. Now,
Good names for bands?
I think so.
Upright jerker.
I think so, or even a solo artist.
Okay.
One of my favorites is called
Usher.
the Spanish Tickler. Okay.
Sounds like a matador,
Now, yeah,
like a serial killer.
And let me tell you something. It has nothing to do.
or a
with,
luchador.
It has nothing to do with getting tickled.
Oh,
Nothing
okay.
at
All
all.
right. That's a little deceiving.
So
Not
so
nice.
this is what I found, okay? It is served to rip the victim's flesh to shreds and to strip it off the bones.
Ooh.
So it's flaying.
Yeah,
It's flaying. Like the cat of nine tails just...
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
It's like tickling.
I was
they
thinking
call it
Antonio
Spanish
Banderas just comes up to him and like...
That would be that could be torture.
It might be worse, if he does the whole Puss in Boots, the whole movie. He
He's
just
in
recites
character.
it. Yeah.
That would be a torture though. If someone was
I would
really
prefer he
tickle-
do Desperado.
If someone was really ticklish and you just tied them up and just tickled them, right?
Same part of your brain lights up when you're being tickled as when you're being attacked. So take that for what you will.
That's deep. That's real deep.
Oh,
Put on the glasses.
yeah. You guys like animals? Animal
Yeah,
lovers?
animals are fun.
Some animal lovers in the house?
Yeah.
I like cats and dogs, but Oliver might be wanting to go after this particular method.
Kenny is so unprepared.
Unprepared. Death by rats.
Death by rats.
I know, right?
That is a good
Very
name for a
creepy.
band.
Right, good name for a band.
Death by rats.
Death by rats. Originally from ancient Rome, but during the 17th and 18th centuries, it gained notoriety in several Asian and European countries. So basically what's happening here is a few cuts on the victim's abdomen. They go ahead and strap you down, and they cut a few holes in you. Then, starved rats placed on the body of the strapped victim, and the rats were then restrained, usually by a metal bucket, sometimes a cage, over the top of them that is then fastened to the victim. Coals arranged above the bucket heat up, this rendering the rats insanely wild. And the only way to escape is going down.
Yep.
Rats got to leave the sinking ship, and so they basically go ahead and eat right through the flesh of whoever's underneath them, plus the little cuts make it easier to dig in there.
Scratch, they tear their way, right?
Oh, they'll go ahead and they'll get out.
Well, right, but I'm saying they're
like
gonna do what? Well, because they want to escape. They want to escape the heat.
The fire,
so they're just gonna
that
dig,
makes them go nuts.
yeah.
And then they realize when they go up to the top. Now with the cage, I've seen some artistic depictions of it where it was a person basically strapped up with ropes like this. Like, so they're vertical, not laying down. And the cage, it looked like a bird cage over the top of them. And then there was just like the dungeon master with a torch just holding it to it until the rat's just going in at the person, basically. Oh. The thing with the coals, however, is like imagine just like a metal bucket. Down. Yeah, you're laying down a metal bucket on top of the rats and you put the coals on the very top. Sometimes the coals would burn so hot that they would melt through the metal, fall through, and actually burn through the person at the same time as the rats are trying to eat through them.
Oh my god. It's like fucking Prometheus and like...
Well, yeah, it was mostly European war captives suffered this fate. I did see, I think it's in Too Fast, Too Furious, actually.
Yeah.
Isn't there a scene? Right, the gangsters have some dude in the club and they put rats on.
Yeah.
And they put a bucket on top.
And then they grab a blowtorch.
And start heating it up. Right.
Yep.
Okay, so I wasn't crazy. Thank you. I wasn't sure if you would know that or not, so I'm glad.
He doesn't look like a Fast and Furious type of guy.
I'm not.
But yeah, mostly European war captives. But during the Dutch Revolt.
No one dies. Everyone comes back to life. It's crazy.
It's like Resident Evil. A Dutch commander, Diederik Sonoy, was documented for torturing his prisoners with rats as a form of interrogation.
God. Well, I mean...
So if you have a fear of rats at the same time, that's gotta be...
Do you think, like, cats would be better? You had, like, a cat in there?
Oh, feral cats? Dude, that would probably be a similar effect, just clawing, though. I don't know.
What about a chicken? Like, like a...
Oh, a bird with a sharp beak.
I got one for all of you. You guys heard of the chimera?
Chimera?
In Rome.
I heard of Alvin Chimera.
Also called Ponea cully, from Latin called penalty of the sack.
Oh.
Not the sack you're thinking of. An actual burlap sack.
Oh, the quarterback get?
Oh, okay. Like a big sack.
Oh, okay.
They would stuff the person in there.
Okay.
Imposed on a subject who had been found guilty of patricide, so killing your own father.
I was going to say, killing your dad.
So, either in the actual chimera, you were put in the bag, a cat was put in the bag with you, a goat was put in the bag with you.
I see what you're getting at now.
A snake was put in the bag with you. It was tied off and you were tossed in a river.
Like the Greek,
like the giant
mythological
thing. But why that? Why a cat, a goat, and a snake?
They're gonna fuck shit up, man.
I'll show you what
the cat's gonna go nuts trying to kill the snake. Like all those videos, cats getting scared of cucumbers randomly, just sitting there because they think it's a snake, and like they want to get it.
But why the goats?
Because this is a chimera. So it's in this one, it's part dragon too, but it's a lion with a goat coming out of it, and its tail is a snake.
I think I like Xander, the renegade angel off Adult Swim, where he had like the snake arm and he had a...
But it's also...
Anyone?
It was an assortment of animals in case they didn't have that, which includes, like you just said,
a chicken.
It includes dog, snake, monkey, chicken, or rooster as well.
Monkey might fuck your ass up, dude.
But I like that they put you all in a bag and they just toss you in a river. Like...
What if you win?
Well, you can't win because it's tied off. So it's like... You're being attacked by these
animals. I don't know if the goat's horn goes through the burlap.
If you actually... Hold on.
The cat scratches through it.
The weight of everything would drown you. Like, you'd be fucked.
Unless you could rip through.
You could snap the goat's neck, snap the cat's neck with the snake, grab the goat's horn, rip the fucking sack, swim up, you're fucking fine. See, they weren't fucking men back then, dude. Yeah, let's fucking test that theory, dude. I bet you I'll fucking get out that shit. It's easy.
This kid
Then you
David
got, and then you got, and
Copperfield
then you
over
got
here.
something to snack on with the snake. You know, you could fucking chew on that while you're, you know, whatever. You can
Yeah.
eat snake.
Hell yeah.
Come on,
probably
use your
really
imagination. Don't be
Yeah.
fucking
Well,
scared.
yeah, apparently Emperor Constantine replaced it with only serpents in the sack.
There you
Another
go.
good name for a band, Serpents in the Sack.
And
Should just
then-
put cobras in there.
And then under Byzantine law,
I
for the
didn't
next
say what
400
kind.
years,
Right.
they replaced it with just burning them alive.
Nice. Yeah,
Well,
just
that's good.
keep it simple, right?
You know, they're progressing.
Keep it
You
simple.
know what I mean?
And it
Innovators.
cleanses, you know,
They're
all
innovators.
the biohazard material, if you will.
Well, I got a good one for the ladies.
Oh
For
boy.
the
Um,
ladies.
This one's called the breast ripper.
All right.
And yes, it's literally
It's like
called.
another wrestler here.
It's literally
The breast ripper, the Spanish tickler.
they are literally ripping your breast off.
Like they'll be here at Monster Jam.
And for this punishment, they do this.
Is
for,
this only for women?
Yes.
Okay.
If you're well,
You'll
some
probably get some chunks off it, dude.
yeah,
I mean, some man
men
boobs.
too.
Everything in between.
This happens if you're accused of adultery or self-performed abortion.
Dang.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So, ladies, you think you have it rough now? There was a point in time where they were just ripping breast off you. I'm just saying.
You're not gonna use these? No one will!
I'm
Yeah,
just
I mean, yeah.
I'm just
that's the
saying.
point.
I'm just saying.
God
It
damn.
definitely makes you appreciate, like, you know.
Your breasts
Exactly. Things.
makes you appreciate some titties, bro.
Mm-hmm.
They appreciate titties.
Mm-hmm.
They just like what I do. Well, I have one as well. And ladies are semi-involved in this one for a different reason. But the pear of anguish.
What's that?
The pear of anguish. And I don't mean you two. I mean an actual, like, pear.
Having like a
the-
pair of balls?
Like a fruit.
Oh.
P-E-A-R.
Oh.
Like that shape. The pear of anguish. If you're not familiar with this
I
contraption,
don't like pears.
it is a pear-shaped contraption, often covered with
Yes.
metal thorns.
Ooh.
So imagine just basically an iron pear, like you think of the shape of a pear is like that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Okay, we got it.
Okay.
We
Yeah.
got it. We got it, bro.
It consisted of a screw key.
What color?
At the bottom of that, when turned, when turned, expanded the pear. So basically, you got the pear, and then it's like a long, like an old-timey key. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
key to the
sort
city
of like-
type key. And so you turn that crank, and as you do that, the pear, like a flower petal, opens up.
Okay.
Frequently used in the mouth, although it wasn't always the preferred hole in most cases.
Oh, the fucking booty hole.
See where we're going
Hell
here?
yeah, dude.
Quick fucking pear catheter, bro.
That was like the original eating ass right there, right?
Well, I don't know. It's kind of like spreading
That's
it
ripping ass.
outwards.
That's
yeah, that's
ripping
ripping
ass.
ass.
Oh, okay.
It's
okay,
a
I see
pear,
what you're
right?
saying.
It's a pear.
I'm sorry. And
What?
okay,
Until,
I'm sorry.
But all four sides are going in different
I
directions.
thought that
I'll
they
look
were-
like the predator at the end of it.
I thought they were opening it up first.
Oh no
and
no
then
no no!
cl-
And then putting it
oh,
in?
yeah,
No,
that's
closing it?
what
No,
yeah.
it goes in closed, and then they
Okay,
turn the key,
that makes
and it
more
starts
sense.
to open.
Okay.
Ooh, fuck that.
France,
Hell yeah.
1626 in F. de Calvi's General Inventory of History of Thieves, published in 1639. That was some light reading back in the day.
Yeah, right.
Apparently, Gaucher O de Paleoli, I'm going to go ahead and say I pronounced that correctly, invented it. He was a notorious robber. This was used by him to get confessions. Several times he would break into a home. He knows, has certain things that he's looking for. If by the chance he can't locate them, guess what? He's going to go up to the master chambers and wakey, hey, put it in their mouth until they fucking go ahead and give him the information.
I think we should bring that tool back because I tell you, there's probably a lot of porn stars that could really. I mean, I'm just saying I think they would have no problem using
Medieval
that
butt
pair.
plugs.
Speaking of asshole gaping,
That's what it is, a medieval butt plug.
the medieval
We
butt
need to
plug.
we need to
Another
bring-
great name for a band.
We need to bring it. We need to bring it back.
All right, so well, I mean, considering porn stars and asshole gaping, and like I said, this was frequently used in the mouth, but not the orifice used in most cases.
Don't tell me the pee hole.
It
Oh,
was
God.
used to mutilate vaginas of women suspected of witchcraft. Going
Yeah.
back to that bullshit again.
Definitely.
And those accused of homosexuality, it would go in the anus and be
fuck.
split out, oftentimes resulting in the death of the person. If they lived, yeah, you're not being able to bear children at this point. Like, you're probably gonna have a fucked up face if they used it there. You're gonna have gastro problems if they put it into bum, but you know.
That's why you know what, no matter what, you just try not to put yourself in those kinds of situations, man. You know what I mean?
Witchcraft? How do I get put in that situation?
Don't
Because you pissed someone off.
And they just made some shit up.
That's right.
All right. What about you guys heard of degloving?
No.
That's
but
what you
it
do
kinda-
after you're done fucking when you have a condom on.
Who
Hey,
uses
deglove your dick.
condoms, dude?
I'm just
All right.
saying that's what it's called.
Basically,
Deglove!
uh,
Dispose.
You get strapped down.
I like where this is going so
So
far.
do
Right?
I.
I know, we were on
So
the
do I.
same
Right?
page,
I'm liking
man.
this, yes.
You know,
Yeah.
hands to the wall.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Right, having a great
Judas
time.
Priest is playing.
And then
No.
I knew that's where I'd break him. I should have said Nickelback.
No.
they very slowly cut at your wrist bone,
Okay.
go all the way around,
A
like
little pain.
Which is connected to the...
Funny bone.
very slowly,
Oh,
and then they go all the way around.
Yeah.
And then they take like a sheet of metal.
Okay.
And they just gradually dig.
What the fuck?
All right. And they gradually dig,
You look
and
like-
eventually they flay your entire hand off, like, and just the skin of your hand.
Be like Terminator.
Right. So you have like this like mangled, bloody like muscle mass of a hand, and then
Hell
they
yeah.
have like your whole like just glove.
Okay.
Degloving. They
Right.
take your skin off of your hand.
Okay.
Groovy.
And this also has been done with like their whole body as well. Like they
Yeah.
start at your feet and they just
Being
gradually,
skinned alive, yeah.
basically skin you alive and like fucking rip your shit
Well,
off.
that's early meat cutting right there. You know what I mean?
got a
Now,
little-
quick question.
That's a turn on
if
for
you,
some.
Would you ever let a girl tie you up?
Yeah.
What is she wearing?
Whatever you want.
Is the question
Like,
would or have?
Would.
Yeah.
Easy, Hugh Hefner over there. Okay.
I mean, I already have, but it's like it depends. If I like, trust that person.
I never.
if it's the first time, no.
Easy way to die right there.
You gonna pull a
What do you
fucking
mean
Cardi
if it-
B and you're gonna
what do you
fucking
mean
rob
if
me?
it's the first time.
First time with this person and she has to tie me up. Are you not hearing what
Well,
I'm saying? Are you
not the
picking up what I'm putting
Not
down?
the fucking first night. I don't care if you're with her for fucking 10 years. Are
That's
you
just
gonna
when-
let her
Oh, at
tie
all?
you?
I mean, after a while, yeah. Why not?
Okay. I wouldn't.
Ever.
would- No.
Ever, never,
No,
never, never.
Because
Why
because,
not, dude?
because
He
you,
has issue. He has issue here.
I do because you are tied up, right? You
There's
cannot
a
get out.
repressed memory.
You are vulnerable.
Right? Listen to this. We're getting.
Hold on, you are vulnerable.
Yeah.
At any moment in a flip of a switch, something
She can
can
bite
happen.
your dick off.
Or
Yeah, you let
whatever.
a girl suck your dick?
Yeah.
I'd rather, yeah, that's a worse situation.
Same odds.
Than be
I mean,
tied up,
kind
yeah.
of. Something bad could happen here.
Yeah, but hold on.
Rolling.
The thing is
The
that-
ultimate
no,
measure
because
of
you
trust
can tell.
is. Can I finish the joke real quick? The ultimate measure of trust is two cannibals having oral sex. Go ahead. See, that took what?
The minute you feel fucking teeth, you can literally. I'm not condoning this. You can punch her in the face to where you're tied up. You can't do shit, but yell, scream, whatever.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just saying.
All right.
You are completely vulnerable and.
It's an attack. It's
never-
assault
never,
first.
Never let that happen.
Okay.
Well, she's about to bite your dick off, dude.
Well,
you have.
she's about
I'm just
to,
saying.
or like she's just dragging her teeth because she's had a couple of fucking cocktails. Because I don't think that that's.
I think you could tell the difference if she's trying to bite your dick off or not.
Very
I'm
true.
I'm
I
just
feel
saying.
like you wouldn't have the reaction to
I don't
it.
think a woman has the experience to where she knows exactly how hard she needs to start to bite your dick
I
off.
feel like
it's
your
gonna.
I
I'm
feel
just
like your
saying.
ballpark Frank would be gone by the time you're
Yeah,
ready.
you
to
realize what
swing.
the fuck's going on. Yeah.
You're like, whoops! I don't have a dick anymore. It's gone.
Yeah, whatever.
Vanquished.
That's what you got for me.
So
brother.
another interesting one that I read is called the boot,
Das Boots. I should have a boot.
and this one's got a very crazy description.
You just drink.
No,
Oh.
I feel this is way too like over the top, but
None of the others were. The others are fine.
Yeah, they're pretty tame.
pretty
some
much,
vanilla shit.
pretty much what they're doing is that they are shaping your foot into like a shape of a boot. They use they have a crank that is turned to close the uprights around the foot, squeezing the entrapped foot to the first grind of the metatarsal heads together,
Oh.
and eventually inflict sufficient pressure to shatter bones.
Oh, fuck.
So it's just an amalgamation of what was once my foot, just
Right.
now crammed into
Right.
itself in this shape.
Yeah.
That is horrible.
Like the amount of
You could
work.
call something like that on the hands like thinning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like put your hands and then now they're just fucking.
I always say this. I would love to go back in time to where they started like naming things. Like how did they come up with
Right.
like a table, right? How did you come up with that word table? This
That could get me on a
but,
tangent.
but what
dude.
I'm saying is for someone to think, I think we need a new way to torture people. Any ideas? And this one guy's like, you know what? I got the perfect idea. Let's grab a person's foot that we're gonna torture and shape it
Dude,
into a boot.
I think about that shit all the time. How many serial killers and mass murderers there were before we had detective work, before you know what I mean? People don't realize that this is still pretty new shit.
Right.
Ugh, my god, that is the boot. The boot. Well, speaking of donkey punches from a little earlier, the Spanish donkey.
Spanish donkey.
That sounds like a sex show.
Not French.
No, not the French donkey. And it should have been the French tickler. Not the Spanish. Never mind. All right. Devised by of course, the Holy Inquisition of the 12th century in France.
You'll never expect it. Oh, it was France.
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 Reminiscent of a gymnastics horse. I'm assuming that that's where they got the name of it. You know what I mean? Like the gymnastics horse, it's just, that block.
Yeah.
But this was not shaped that way. This was a triangle, basically.
Okay.
So like
and they
this.
make you sit on it.
And it's a block, right. Seat was triangular, pointed, was meant to torture victims by sitting on it, enforced this punishment on non-believers mostly. Mostly, I'm sure fucking all of them. I would have suffered this way. Victims forced to sit naked on the pointed construction.
You have to be naked.
You gotta be naked,
Have
dude.
to be.
There's nothing like being
Half
naked.
chub at least.
You
Yes.
gotta. Okay.
It's required.
No, you have to be rock solid. Rock solid hard, naked.
I love this!
Yes.
Yeah, just fucking get off to it. Broke its victims for days until they passed out from exhaustion, tortured prisoners to the verge of disablement, wrecked them for life, and none ever walked the same way again. I'm gonna start calling you the Spanish donkey, considering your track record.
Here's this, you know how they should have they could have mind fucked the whoever was in charge or giving out these fucking torture is to actually be like, because look, you're gonna die, right? So at least send the trend and be like, you just do the opposite. Instead of screaming in pain, you screaming like, I fucking love this, give me more, whatever.
Maybe somebody
and then
did.
they might be, you know what, man, if
See.
they might enjoy this, we might have to change things up again.
That might be why they don't use that anymore, because somebody eventually did. That's how these all went away.
I would try to mind fuck them, like one last hurrah, like I'm gonna mind fuck them. Haha, joke's on you. I enjoy
He's like
this.
Lieutenant Dan, like, you call this a horse?
Exactly.
All right. Genital damage, ruptured perineum,
Man.
and broken
Genital
sacrum.
And
your
your
coccyx and sacrum,
nuts
your
blow
tailbone.
out
Your coccyx.
like a tire blows out.
This is where it kind of should have been called the tickler real quick. Should have been called the tickler. Now imagine that, all right? You're sitting on this thing,
And they're tickling
naked.
your gooch.
You are tied behind your back. You're tied at your ankles underneath,
Yeah, have to be.
and gravity is slowly
Yeah,
splitting you.
right.
God damn.
Weights at times were attached to the victim's feet and were tickled during torture. So now you're moving
Oh.
at the same time.
Oh,
Damn.
fuck that.
Usually bled to death, no fucking kidding. Died of infections.
That's crazy.
Otherwise permanently crippled or unable to bear children, once again. Variations in Italy had spikes embedded on it.
Hell yeah.
And this form of torture was
Last week.
even as recent as the U.S. Civil War. Confederate troops were punished with it. That was as recent as, so that made it all the way to America.
Let's talk about recent. Guillotine is obviously one of the most famous forms of execution.
Yeah, I'll take that one.
A common thing people don't realize, you'll say you'll take that one. You'll take that one if you're the first one up to the block, right? If you're like a big fucking like treasonous guy they're executing first, If you're the 6th guy in line, that blade is blunt.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
That blade
They
is
do how
blunt.
many in a row?
They don't sharpen
They
it.
don't sharpen it.
Oh,
When
yeah.
you're the 6th, 7th, 10th, 12th, 15th guy in line, it drops, clunk,
Ew.
raise it up.
Ah.
It drops, clunk, raise it up. Half the time,
This is like the weights throwing
half
over.
the time, like it would take like 5, 6, 7 minutes. They'd bleed out like before, because you'd be getting hit with a blunt fucking blade. Just,
Well, didn't
like,
they change
I have
it?
never hated the word blunt so much in my life.
Didn't they change it to where then they just had that guy with the fucking big ass long axe, and they put your head down, and then they just
Love
do
that
it that
guy.
way?
well, because that's
You know what I
like-
mean? Because then they changed it for
The
that reason.
executioner.
Well,
Right.
They changed it from like just doing it with a sword or axe to the guillotine, because
Oh,
guillotine
okay, so it's
you can just
opposite,
raise it.
okay.
You don't have to keep sharpening a sword or getting a new sword. You just keep dropping it because it's like fuck it.
Well, you
this
still
is
have to
dropping.
sharpen it.
Not really. you
No,
just keep
they didn't
dropping
give
it.
a fuck.
Eventually,
Right?
yeah.
They don't care about these people.
They
Yeah.
especially didn't give a fuck in 1977 when
yeah.
France executed Hamida Djandoubi
Yeah, she sounds guilty.
by a guillotine.
Yeah,
For
sounds,
what?
Sounds
1970s,
guilty.
I believe treason.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
Either
Yeah,
treason-
that'll bring out the old school in
Either
'em.
treason or rape. It was one or the other.
I could think of a couple people that are treasonous that we could do that too. Well, we should bring that back.
Actually, he kidnapped, tortured, raped, and murdered a 22-year-old French woman, and was sentenced to death by guillotine in 1977.
They should have just used the blunt side of it.
Real quick before I bring up another one. How do you guys feel that
Pretty good.
I had this I
Nickname
had
was
this
Pimp
thought
Killer.
that depending on the crime, like if a person did something like that to a woman, a child, or anything like that, I feel like we let them off scot free with like a needle, electric chair, whatever. How do you guys?
Electric chair
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Electric
So-
chair is pretty.
Your
Here-
eyes
but here-
melt out of your head.
Here's a food for thought. We should do to them exactly what they did to that person.
Give them the pear if they raped somebody, right in the butthole.
Right.
Well, that's
or
the whole
whatever.
idea. These
Bring
are-
it back, baby.
If they chopped up a woman, put her in barrels,
So
light
they
her on fire,
chop
whatever,
her-
then we do
chop
the
them
exact
up.
same thing to him. Or whatever gruesome crime you can think of.
Okay.
We should do the same thing to them.
But congressmen have to do it. Have to be the president. So I'm just imagining like Mitt Romney just fucking like ass fucking some rapist. Like,
Oh, I'm sure he is.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
practiced.
I mean, yeah.
He's
ass-
well-versed.
He's ass fucking somebody.
yeah.
Alleged. I don't know.
Out in
Just
Utah.
Food for thought. What I'm just.
I don't know. I mean, what was it? I don't remember the guy's name, but the gymnast trainer for the Olympics that got found out that
right.
he was right.
Yeah.
And they sentenced him, and then one of the fathers was just like asked the judge, like, give me fucking 5 minutes alone with this guy.
Yeah.
And of course the judge said no, obviously.
Right.
But it's like, I kind of feel in that sense, it's like, okay, look, if you are related to the victim or are the victim, I kind of feel like they should at least let you have a shot at it.
Right.
I know that could have like things in the future about whatever, but that's closure to me personally. Like if somebody shot you,
In the face, you're dead.
right, you're dead. They find him guilty.
In the-
I'm the one that's
It's
the most
100%.
furious,
There's
right?
100% evidence. He confessed to it. There's no.
Right.
There's no like. Oh. Well,
And they
we're not
offer
100%.
the
Right.
family, Matt, Alana, our sister, me, they offer us the chance to be the firing squad
Yeah.
on this guy.
Fuck.
I guarantee you I'm the only one that says yes.
Yeah.
So I'm saying for me, I know that might be some wild shit, but it's
No.
just like, I feel like you should be given the option to be like, would you like to have a little payback?
To
If
me-
not, if you don't think you can handle it and that's going to fuck you up in the future, or you don't get, whatever it is, to me that's closure.
Not just closure, but more justice.
Yeah.
Than to let him live on for another 20,
Off my
30
tax
years.
dollar.
Right.
Fuck that shit.
You know what I mean? And like I said, obviously, I mean, if you have a ton of evidence and everyone, even in his family, know that he fucking did that crime,
We saw it happen.
why are
Like,
we
as
wait-
I'm driving you home tomorrow,
It's
I
on. We
witnessed
have
it.
video, witnesses, confessions, you name it.
I'm gonna kill him.
Why are we waiting
gonna
20,
kill him.
25?
I'm gonna kill him.
Why are we gonna
Yeah.
have him 20, 25 years rot in prison in death row? He's getting fed. He gets to fucking hang out with
No.
outside an hour a day.
Well,
Why?
because prisons are a private business. That's taking us down another rabbit hole.
Yeah,
You're
well,
next, sir.
So this is one of my all-time favorites because it is close to my heritage.
My favorite's coming up next too.
This one's called the Sicilian necktie.
That sounds like something you give a chick on a Saturday night.
No, not to this,
Hey.
not to this extent. So it's pretty
Extent.
It's pretty
Close, but not quite.
It's pretty basic. The Sicilians did this when someone was caught lying, or ratting the group out or whatever.
Henry Hill.
They would pretty much cut your throat and then reach in there with their hand, grab your tongue, and rip it out.
Oh!
Damn.
Hey!
And I can make.
So it'd be like hanging like a necktie. After
Yep,
it.
there you
Oh,
go.
Fuck.
I bet you the Iceman fucking did that shit all
There
the
you
time.
go.
I bet he had a wall just nailed different tongues.
Mhm.
That's what I would
Christ.
do.
That's right. That's how, dude. That's how fucking Italians
Don't
did
fuck
it.
around, man. It's
They
about
They had a
family.
fucking business back then. You know what I mean? I'm just saying.
Well, if that was your favorite, it's time to talk about my favorite. This one is my. I know it's a fucked up thing to say about what this entire conversation has been about.
This is my favorite.
Oh, this one's my favorite. Scaphism.
The needle.
It's the most fucked up. Scaphism, scaphism, whatever you want to call it. I call it scaphism. This is from ancient Persia.
Persia.
Persia. This is Sparta. Yeah. So scaphism from the Greek, meaning boat. This was an ancient Persian method of execution. So imagine you're sentenced to death.
Yeah.
Right. Let's all get into character.
As you are.
As you are, and they put you in a little boat, like a little rowboat, but
Put
no
'em in a
no
boat.
oars, nothing like that. But the boat's a little too small. Like your head sticks over the bow, and your feet stick out over the poop deck, like pretty much up to your knees. Like you're like, this is a tiny boat.
So it's like you're
whatever.
sleeping in a twin bed.
Yeah, it's weird. And then they take one of the same size and put it on top of you. So now your feet and your head are sticking out. And you go, what the fuck is this?
Right.
Right? And they proceed to cover your body. They open it back up, cover your body, and force feed you a mixture of milk and honey. An obscene amount.
As one does.
Overfed, over force fed milk and honey, and your body is now covered in it also, and you're trapped between these two boats because then they go ahead and lasso them together. And then they just,
Fuck you.
no,
Oh.
they just sort of dump you in standing water pretty much, like a bog, a swamp, just out in a thing, and all right, see you later. Right, doesn't seem so bad at first. The milk and honey mixture that you are covered in, not only are you filled with it, but what you're covered in is going to start to attract insects
Yeah.
and vermin.
Mm-hmm.
And you are tied up in this boat, so you're getting eaten by bugs on the outside. And after a few
It's a
hours pass
slow
of
pain. It's
of
a
that
slow-
awful being eaten alive by parasites and vermin, you go ahead and shit yourself real good.
Hell yeah.
All that milk and honey's coming right back through.
Yeah.
And that attracts
Bears.
bacteria. No, you're sitting in the swamp, in the water, and shit like
Bears.
that. Like brackish water, you know what I mean? It's not a great...
That attracts bears.
I was always told to soil yourself to get away from a bear. All of a sudden, Will shows up.
Oh yeah, here we
Someone take a shit, bro?
Someone taking a shit, dude?
What's good? Yeah, the Charmin bears show up. Hey, look what we like to do. Yeah, so you're pretty much eaten from the outside in and the inside out at the same time in a slow, miserable, lonely death to just sit there with your fucking thoughts as this happens to you.
I can think of a doctor we could do that too.
Good Lord.
Speaking
I think he's
of-
retiring at the end of this year.
Speaking of slow, miserable
That'd be a good
deaths,
retirement gift for him, I think.
You guys like elephants?
No.
Yeah, they're all right. They
Oh my
have
God.
emotions. They're cool.
They're
cool.
very smart. I do
They
respect
are
them.
very smart.
They're
They're trained
fucking
very
smart.
well.
Yes.
In India, they trained them so well that they would tie a gentleman down in the middle of a big old arena,
Yeah.
strap him to the sand or whatever,
Yeah.
have an elephant come out, march around him, and then one of two things would
Make
happen.
way for
Right?
Prince Ali. right?
Well,
Okay.
actually, a few things would happen.
Jesus, fuck.
It would either just walk over him and just kill him, just like quick little hump, hump, and he's dead, or
Yeah.
it would walk up to him
Ah.
and place. It could literally. They let the elephant decide for how it would want to kill him. So sometimes the elephant
Like
would,
a cardboard baler, just
Wait, I
slowly
thought
press.
elephants-
like a hydraulic press.
Ah!
It would put it would put its foot like on the person's chest and slowly apply pressure.
Wait,
Just slowly
did
apply
did they
pressure.
train these elephants?
They
Because
train the elephants to do
yeah,
this.
because elephants don't naturally just
No.
kill people.
Right. Well,
so
there's
they-
some
Trample.
killer
They
elephant
trample.
trail in China.
That's
Right.
why they would trample sometimes, but the really good ones would literally like they'd either just put it on his chest and
stars of
slowly
the
just
show.
like cookie cutter a hole through the person,
Fuck yeah.
or they would slowly like they would choose a leg and break the leg and then choose an
Good
arm, break
boy.
it, or put it on
Have a peanut.
on their head and just fucking like crush their head like a watermelon.
Or you could put a rat in buckets on the person and freak the elephant out, and everybody dies. I'm
Oh
sorry.
my god! And then it presses down in the bucket.
Yep.
Damn.
Or the elephant would literally go up to the person
And fuck it.
and go. No, this is how you knew you were really in for it, because the elephant would go up to you,
And
then
sit on you.
and then turn. It would go 3 circles, and then it would turn around and it would take a seat, and
Oh!
it would sit on you and fucking and just fucking
Yeah.
like
Hell
2
yeah.
tons of elephant ass. That's
Hell
a lot of
yeah.
ass.
That's a lot of ass.
A
eating
A
right
lot of
there.
ass.
Hell yeah. So I quickly did. I looked up the 3 countries that torture people the most, and it is Ethiopia, Iraq, and Turkey.
Yeah, the middle one doesn't surprise me, but Ethiopia maybe from like the Janjaweed, the the fucking the militias that
I'm
are
pretty
out
sure
there.
this is all time and current.
like remember
it's so-
Darfur from high school?
Right. Now I did try to
They all
find.
forgot that shit.
I
real
did try to
quick.
find the least, and I couldn't. I didn't trust what I was looking at because, like, did this index that they show, like, which countries are tortured the most and least? It said Russia was one of the least, and I really have a hard time believing that. So yeah.
Because everybody that was going to get the information out is
Right.
kaput.
So,
So
did you say Iraq or Iran?
Iraq.
Iraq.
Okay. Speaking of Iraq, you guys know the Iron Maiden? Like the giant.
I was going to say the contraption of the band because, like I always said, it's come
Yeah.
full circle. All of these are great name for bands, and this one happens to be
great name for a great band. You know the Iron
define
Maiden?
great.
I like them.
Not really.
No? Okay, so basically, the idea is that it was in medieval times, and it was a giant. It looked like a sarcophagus, like the fucking ancient Egyptian coffin with the fancy face, but it was like a lady
Yeah.
who was called the Iron Maiden.
Okay.
And it opens up. It's a giant coffin. On the inside are shallow spikes. So they're like little spikes.
Oh, okay.
On
I
the
know.
door
What
there's
you, yeah,
spikes.
I know
right?
what you're talking about.
They
Yeah.
put you in there. They slam it,
Yep.
but they're not like through your head like
Right.
you're dead.
It's close.
It's shallow.
Just enough.
So they like stab you and you're like fucking like sitting there. So you sit there and fucking basically most of them
to death.
died of dehydration or infection.
Right,
They
right.
didn't even or die of bleeding. Like they're just fucking sitting there like fucking stabbed.
You're just.
However,
Yeah.
most historians don't think this device actually existed. It was first brought
Explain
up.
the band then.
It was it was first brought up in writings as like a mythological like thing to kill a god.
You had to put him in the Iron Maiden.
You had to put him in the Iron Maiden.
Okay.
Or it was a punishment that God
This is some
did to
Norwegian
mortals.
shit.
It came from ancient Greece, I believe.
Fucking should've known.
But it was never actually used in medieval times, is what most people have discovered. However,
I could see it in the during the Roman Empire days. I could see that.
it was mentioned
Oh, they love to
as
fuck
far
people
back
up.
as that. It was mentioned, but most people think that was just like writing, like it never actually was used.
Mm.
However, because of the writing, the one like that most people accept as an Iron Maiden that was genuinely used to torture and kill people was in Iraq.
Oh. Might be onto something, buddy.
Mr. Uday Hussein, Saddam
Uday! Uday and Kusei!
son
I wish I was joking. That's, yeah.
was once the head of a committee.
The
and
pair of anguish,
and
those
the
two.
country's soccer federation, and athletes
Of course.
reported that he would humiliate, beat, and torture underperformers by using an Iron Maiden.
Hell yeah.
Time reported that the Iron Maiden in Baghdad was worn with use, and an AP video shows the device, but it's unclear whether there were eyewitnesses' accounts of the Iron Maiden being used or not.
Dude, those brothers went out like fucking Scarface when that shit happened. They got lit up by the U.S. military over there in a mansion that they were holding, just shooting out of fucking windows. They got blown to fucking pieces.
That was fucking insane. But
They're
he had
fucking
an Iron
crazy.
Maiden.
They were crazy. They had no fucking fear, and I'm sure that they were vicious considering, what? Don't you know who my dad is?
But like the rap
Like
also,
fucking Don Jr.
where they tie you up and they pull like your limbs off. Like that's like a classic medieval thing. Didn't happen in like Middle Ages at all.
The drawn
That was like
quarter.
an ancient Roman thing. That like all like that like the medieval ages had like no like torture method. Like they didn't really do that.
During the Crusades, I fucking
No, like
doubt that
like
shit.
I'm saying like the idea that like if you were like stole like a piece of bread
Like chop your hand off.
they didn't have like torture dungeons and all this shit with like the executioner with the
They
thing.
had sex
Like
dungeons.
it wasn't really a thing.
Nice.
It wasn't really a thing.
Rave
Like
dungeons.
it really wasn't.
All right, so are you done? Okay. So out of all these that
Are
we
you
talked,
done?
yeah. After all
That's what
that,
she said.
after all these that we talked about, what is one that you would like to bring back, if you could, or would want?
I got
to come
one
back.
more to talk about actually, which is the one I'd want to bring back.
Actually,
Good.
then go ahead. You
Yeah.
start.
The Brazen Bull or the Sicilian Bull.
I actually know of this one. This one's great.
It was a device used in ancient Greece. A giant bull they put in the town square, right?
Yeah.
And it was to signify like bravery and like courage and all that.
Big dick.
That's why The
energy.
Rock uses it.
However,
Big dick energy,
in the back of the bull, there's a little door.
and you smell what's cooking.
You do smell what's cooking after a while.
Yes.
Because the perpetrator gets stuffed in the bull, the bull gets closed, and like I said, it's a metal bull. They light that son bitch on fire right underneath it.
Hell yeah.
Not only does it cook the person inside, but in the nose of the bull are the only holes in the
This
in the
is how
device.
much fun they were having designing this. Go ahead.
They had pipes and all that shit connecting and like all this little like fancy fucking like engineering
They
stuff
did it on purpose.
to make when the sound traveled,
the
they're
aqueducts are
screaming like the
impressive?
fucking like ah! Like all that echoing
Yes.
went through those pipes, went through all the whatever. It would come out sounding like moose.
Through the top,
So-
and all the steam would come out
Yeah.
like a fucking kettle that's
So
ready to
that's
be
how
taken
you
off.
that's how you know if someone was being fucking cooked in there. It was because
Jesus.
you could hear in the town center like mooing.
Jesus.
So yeah, I'd bring back the Brazen Bull.
There are some chicks that might appreciate that way to go. They're like, oh my god, I'm a Taurus. It makes sense.
All right.
If I had to bring one back, I would bring back impaling. I know we didn't discuss this.
Good old Vlad the Impaler.
He was one.
Put up the butthole.
Yeah, pretty much. It's not like what, because usually when we think impaled by something, it's like you fell on something, or what happened
What is it? Just to
by
say
that
how
lady
much-
in South Carolina at the beach
Yeah, with
the
the
other
umbrella.
week with an umbrella flying through the air, fucking got her right through. That's what I usually think of impaled.
Dumbass.
This guy would take, basically, they hoist you up on a giant spike, and they put it right in the butthole,
Yeah.
and they go ahead and let gravity do the work.
Yeah.
Nothing says obey me like a fucking head on a stake, man. I'm telling you.
You
Or an
really,
entire
you really
body.
like the anal stuff. I'm just saying.
Don't grin at that.
I'm just saying. For me, I think.
I mean, we've been talking about Greeks this whole time. No.
I mean, for me personally, it's a Sicilian necktie. I think that just.
I could see you doing that.
I mean, I
that
think-
one's still in commission, actually. No one stopped doing that.
Exactly, and I think it can work a lot in today's world for certain people. So yeah. And then so one more before we go. What is one? I think it's one that you brought.
Oh
up.
yeah.
What is
if you
one
had
that-
to get, if you were charged with anything, or you had to face your death, you were
Right.
captured by somebody, no matter what it is,
Right.
and you had to pick one of these methods that we've discussed today. Go ahead and type it in the comments too. What do you think you would pick? Out of all of these, I feel like I would pick, and Will kind of swayed me now, is I would take my odds with the Chimera.
What?
To get out.
Of the bag with the
Oh,
goat and the
yeah.
snake and the cat.
Take your chances.
whatever.
Yeah.
I think I would try. I think I could.
If it's your life, you do anything. For
Brazen
it, so,
bull,
yeah.
that's not fucking happening.
No.
Impaled, that's not fucking happening. Scaphism, not fucking
All
happening.
right, let's go on the assumption you're dead. So there's no chance you're getting out. Like, you will
Oh,
die.
which one? Okay, you
will
have to.
die.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
all right.
you're not escaping. You will either drown or get clawed to death.
Right.
Oh, that's just whoa.
I could see
fuck.
I could see Tyler going for the Spanish tickler to be
I'm
honest.
honestly,
I could see him doing that.
I'm gonna go with Chimera, knowing I'm gonna die,
No,
simply
you're not.
because I feel like,
You'll just drown.
well, I feel like with just the pure amount of adrenaline and survival instinct, you'll become the strongest, scariest motherfucker in existence when you're in that bag. Like, you will rip out of the bottom and fucking like thrash. I would assume I would probably either kill or incapacitate the animals in there, and then I'd drown. And I'd prefer to drown over anything else. Like, because drowning sucks, but after you like submit to it, like, you're just like, okay.
Why don't you just let the water in you?
Yeah.
You just
Breast
you know.
ripper.
Let's just take these titties off.
Yep. Just fucking rip the pecs off,
I
baby.
might-
It's like Hulk Hogan, but
Don't
just
fucking
like,
heal.
I think I might want it. To be honest, now that you're thinking it, fuck.
You have to do it to me.
like
Those are my
medieval
terms.
lipo.
Those are my terms.
it's medieval lipo.
I don't
for
trust anyone else to do it but him.
For me, I would just do hanging. For me.
Hanging dong, baby.
Hang-
You know,
'Cause
and you'll die
'cause-
potentially
'cause-
with a boner
Oh,
or an
shit,
orgasm.
whatever.
That was
Wow, just
the
leave me
whitest
hanging.
thing I've ever seen happen in
just
my
leave-
apartment.
just leave
And
me
I've
hanging.
lived here by myself for 3
Just
years.
leave me hanging, dude.
Leave
Don't go
you
for a high.
hanging.
Don't go for a high five, and then I go up, and then I don't get one. Like,
I
what?
did that and then fucking went there, and you
Then
like,
what the fuck? What the fuck is that? Then I don't know what that is. That look like
You know
a
what
high
it is?
five.
You know what it is? The pair of anguish.
Whatever.
The pair of anguish.
Yeah, I would do hanging because I would think that would be the quickest. Like once you're,
you don't want to get
next thing.
upright jerked.
Yeah. No, a lot of people, they called that the killer orgasm back in the day because a lot of times, well, you think autoerotic asphyxiation.
Yeah.
Same reaction
Same
happens
process,
even
right.
if you're terrified and you know you're going to die. A lot of men would either get a boner or get a boner and bust as it happened.
Yeah.
Used to call it the killer orgasm.
I would
Also a great name for a band.
I would just want the quickest thing, but at the end of the day, I wouldn't put myself in that situation. So
Yeah,
don't put yourself in that situation.
So, thank you all for joining us again. Thank you for the support that we've had. It's been, the numbers. We've been looking at the numbers. Holy shit. I know we said on the last one that we're gearing up for a game, but we got to hit that milestone. I know 244 is good, but it's not 250, and we're not going to go ahead. You don't
Yeah.
get shortcuts. No one gets shortcuts.
That's right.
We're going to keep producing until we hit that. Then we already have something lined up for 250. Share it with a friend.
We're gonna put Will.
Show your parents.
in a
I'm sure they'll be
bag.
disappointed with you and what you're watching.
We're gonna put Will in a bag and put a bunch of animals in it and throw
I mean,
them in
we
a river.
do have.
We
a
already
lake-
have Oliver.
We have a lake right there, so I'm just saying.
Yeah, we saw that gator fucking getting a suntan.
so he gets
there.
a gator, a cat, 250.
I saw fucking dinner right there.
You
That's
will
what I saw.
decide what the third animal is to go in Will's death bag.
And I'll be doing it naked. You're welcome, ladies.
Good night.